Hello. I'm just trying to adjust this. Give me 1 second. Oops. All right, guys. Hey. So live is just so weird. Talk to yourself for like the first 10 minutes. And try to adjust the camera. Okay. I don't know. We're gonna roll with it. But it's crooked. Okay. Hey guys, it's Monique. So I got a lot of questions. I'm just gonna get straight into it. I know a lot of you guys watch the replays anyway, so there's no point in me waiting, but I'm gonna go through the questions that were on yesterday's post because you guys had some really good questions. So let's see. Okay. Okay, guys, let's see what the first question was. So yesterday someone said, I'm hopefully launching my jewelry store in June. I've done my website, figured out my postage and packaging, figured out my pricing, tested out my samples, and placed my stock orders last week. Just need to figure out the best way of marketing. Okay, so I gave her the advice. The way I started, I gave my sister and my 2 cousins samples of the rings. They each then put it on their social media. So they put it on their Instagram stories. And that's actually how I made my first sale, from friends of my family. So once their friends started adding me, I did run Instagram ads, and Instagram ads take a little bit of like time, and you have to test them. So I tested a few pictures, and then I did a video Instagram ad, and my customers like video. I did just a simple ad of like, my sister had pretty nails and she just showed the ring. And that ad still works for me today. I get nervous sometimes because it is one of my more used ads. I don't want to like oversaturate the people that are attracted to my page, but it works. That ad just works better than any other ad. So you have to kind of test out your Instagram ads. So I went from like 16 followers to like 100 followers in maybe like 2 days running ads. And then once other people started coming to my page, then they started asking questions, and then essentially I started placing orders. When I mail out my orders, I have a mailer that says, hey, thanks for your order. Don't forget to, repost this on Instagram. So when they're reposting their ring that they got in the mail, then it sends their friends to my page. So I got their business, and then when they repost their purchase, their friends tend to add me too. So say you had like 5 people, but 5 people each had like 800 followers. So you're reaching their friends too, and it's like free advertisement. But yeah, so I started with my family, then I ran Instagram ads. The people that came from the Instagram ads, I told them to repost their order. They put it on their story. Sometimes they tag me in like a regular picture. but then their followers then add my business page. So that's how I kind of I did marketing. So that's a couple of ways that you can do it. And word of mouth is the cheapest marketing that you could possibly do. Oh, when you guys come in, definitely say something. I don't know if I can. Let's see. Let's do live chat. Okay. Make sure you say hi. And I want to be able to see your questions, so I can answer questions for the people, hey, that are on here. So someone else said, can you make a video on how you package your jewelry items? This is the struggle that I'm facing. Okay, so I actually ran out of packaging. I have little white boxes and my logo is in gold. I have a new shipment coming tomorrow. But the pre-sale like completely like it wiped me out. But I put my, so my jewelry, I put it in boxes, either a ring box or like a bigger box for necklaces. I have pouches coming tomorrow as well. And then I have bubble mailers. I get my bubble mailers from Proline, I think. They're in Illinois. But you can find Proline bubble mailers on Amazon. So when I'm in a pinch, I do Amazon. When there was Amazon Prime and they came the next day, I got these mailers from Amazon. But when you get them from Amazon, they're more. So I got 100 of these poly mailers for like $17. But if I was to get them on Amazon, it would be like 50 for $17. So that's kind of what packaging. But I started actually, there's another video that I have. I just did a plain white box from Amazon, and then I got ribbon custom made with my logo from Etsy. That's a really, like, it was a big roll of ribbon, and I just tied my orders. I bought white boxes from Amazon, just tied my orders with my branded ribbon. And that was the way I did it for a while, until I started getting like a lot of orders. Tying ribbon is very time consuming because you don't always get it perfect. So I needed something where I could just put the jewelry in there and go. So even though the ribbons looked really great, it looked really pretty, it just was not time efficient. Like I couldn't, when you start to get like 15 orders and you're over there tying ribbon and then the first bow doesn't come out perfectly, it's a whole thing. So there's a few other things that you could do as far as packaging. Where is it? I put my rings in these like Mylar bags. So you can actually get Mylar bags customized and it looks really cute. Ribbon on Etsy and then put it in a box. So I was doing like boxes from Amazon and then putting a ribbon on it. I am out of everything right now, guys. Everything comes tomorrow. I had like 93 orders, so it just took all of my supplies. Hey! Yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, just ask me. I'm just reading off the questions from yesterday's post. Let's see. So you guys, yeah, so I went over my marketing. Yeah, so I don't sell to my family. I don't sell to my family. I kind of don't sell to my friends either at this point. I use my family and my friends for their family and their friends, basically. So I give my family and friends free products and then they advertise for me. I know that was one thing that I was like, I don't want to have a business where I'm just like selling the people I know, because that's not a business. That's not going to sustain you. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, another tip that I use. So if you guys go to my Instagram page, my business page, the BLD by Monique page. I also have had customers who have like over 5,000 followers, and they'll tag me in their picture, and that also sends a lot of customers my way too. Is it normal for a vendor to ask? Yes, they need your address and they need your phone number so they can send you a package. Are they asking when you're getting ready to order, or are they asking beforehand, or when are they asking? But it is normal because that's how they send the package. They need your address and the phone number if they're using DHL Express. I do not use AliExpress. AliExpress will, the custom, the quality isn't what I would like. And then you can't customize anything on AliExpress. So I only use Alibaba. Actually, I'm gonna pull up, sorry guys, your questions are going away too fast. Let's see. I want to make sure I answer all the questions that popped up. Okay, let's see. Is it normal to ask? Yeah, that's what we said. What to post on your business Instagram when you're just starting out and you do not have inventory? So I started my Instagram business page when I got the inventory. So I'm not quite sure what I would post if I didn't have inventory. And you might want to wait. Let's see. Might just want to wait until you have the inventory to start posting. You could probably introduce yourself. So just put a picture of yourself, you know, kind of look stylish, kind of give the people an idea of your vibe. But I would really start the Instagram page when you have product. Because, I don't know, I kind of feel a certain way about people who are about to start a business, but then they put other people's products on their page, and it just doesn't sit with me right. So I would wait until you have your own. Let's see, I'm trying to go back through these. So let's see. Oh, they said, how's your experience with Alibaba, AliExpress? Does it take long to ship? So when I use Alibaba, I pay like the $25. Like if I'm getting samples, it's like $25 and I get it DHL Express. So it does not take long to ship. I had an order of rings come Monday and they sent it out last Thursday. So a couple of days. They thought that you could see it in your profile. Yeah, when you're working with a new vendor, they might just confirm because they are sending you products. So I wouldn't say that it's weird. No, they asked for my address and my phone number, and they asked before I even made an order. That's so working with Chinese vendors. They're how do I say this without being like. Their mannerisms, I guess, sometimes is a little forward. Sometimes, but I wouldn't take any. It's not harmful if you're waiting on an order. Add pic on social media. Yes, you can do that. You can add pictures. The only problem with that is it kind of looks like it kind of looks like Alibaba pictures. When I've reviewed some of the people, some of y'all's jewelry Instagram, what really sells is photos of someone wearing the jewelry. So people like to imagine what it's gonna look like on them. So flat lays are okay sometimes, and then stock photos are okay sometimes, but you don't wanna fill your Instagram with just like stock photos and just flat lays of the jewelry. So make sure like your Instagram is very personable. Make sure you are like, so say you have a bunch of necklaces, right? So my Instagram, when customers send it, they tend to stack my necklaces. So like they'll have this one and then they'll have a little chain and then they might have like some of their own stuff, but people like to see how your jewelry would look on them or how they could possibly wear it. So definitely have pictures of like you or your friends or just customers and use that for your Instagram page once you start to get jewelry in. Does anybody have any other questions? Let me go back to the chat. Yeah. But if you guys are, okay, so it says, because I'm only seeing Chinese vendors, don't know if it's trustworthy, no offense. Yeah. I'm not offended, but I mean, I use it, but the thing is, that's why you're getting samples. And then in my ebook, I tell you how to find good vendors, how to find reputable vendors. I don't use AliExpress. I only use Alibaba, and on Alibaba, they give you stats. So that's how I vet, and that's how I go through, each vendor. I read their stats. I read their reviews. Sometimes they have those quick ship products. I read the reviews for that. And then are you guys using the Alibaba app? Because it's like, it's all there. When you look at a vendor, you can see how much money they've made for the year. You can see their reviews. So that's the only reason why I'm not as like scared when I send my money overseas, is because I'm using reputable vendors. So it's all about how you source and who you're sourcing and who you're giving your address and your phone number to. Because Alibaba has all of that information. Thanks. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'm gonna go back to, let's see. I have tons of questions. Let's see. Oh, my pre-sale. Let's talk about the pre-sale. So, or that the vendors try to get you to order a higher quantity. They will tell you, yeah. So, that is true. You're gonna pay more if you don't get their minimum quantity. So say like you like a pair of earrings and it's 100, you have to get 100 pair. So what I typically do when I first start off is I'll say, hey, look, like just for a trial order, I will do 50. I'll pay a little bit more. I was like, if these go well, because sometimes you don't even know if the product's gonna sell and then you're just gonna have a whole bunch of product. I'd be like, I realize it's a little bit more, but I just want 50. I want to see if this product's going to work. And then we'll go from there. So these rings, it was a minimum order of 100. So what I did was I got 3 different sayings in 2 different sizes. So when I first started, I got the same ring, but they all said different things, and then I got 2 sizes. When I launched, people started coming to my page and saying, hey, you don't have size 6s or 7s, because I only had 8 and 9s. And so I sold out of the 8 and 9s. Well, I was halfway selling out, so then I put in an order. And once you get going, 100 is not enough. Like 100 of something will last you maybe a month once you like keep going. So don't let that like scare you. Ask if you can just get a smaller amount to start off and you realize that you're gonna have to pay more. But then once you keep going, you're gonna need to buy 100 because you're gonna be selling things. And then in Alibaba, you know that you can weed out vendors by putting in an MOQ. So say you want to buy 50 pair of earrings, you can tell the Alibaba app to only show you companies that will sell it 50 quantities of 50 and lower. So that's another thing too. And then a lot of these companies are doing that quick ship now on Alibaba. So maybe try out some stock stuff of theirs. Get samples first, try stock products first. But if you are customizing, they're gonna ask for at least 100. So that is one thing that you're gonna have to invest in it, but it's worth it because it goes really quick. So don't be scared of 100. Any other questions before I talk about pre-sales? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about my pre-sale. So I was getting my signature rings, and I knew that they were coming. I told my customers that they would be in between the, what did I tell them? I think I said the 9th. Oh, I told them that my rings would be in between the 8th and the 15th. So I gave them a window of when I knew my rings were gonna come in. These rings, everyone is always in my DM like, hey, when are you restocking? When are you restocking? So that's a good sign. So if people are asking you when you're bringing something out, then you know that there's a demand for it. So I maybe gave like 3 hours notice. I said, hey guys, I'm doing a pre-sale. The sizes and the quantities are limited. So if you would like this product, you might want to pre-sell today, right now, because it's going to sell out, and the rings normally sell out. So I told them that I was launching the pre-sale like at noon, right? Or I told them at like 9 that the pre-sale was going to launch at noon. When the pre-sale opened, my phone just like went off. So one, I made it seem like there was a sense of urgency, and there was. And then two, like I didn't break the bank trying to get inventory that I didn't know if people were going to buy. So there was a demand for the product that I pre-sold. So since there was a demand, I kind of knew that it would sell well. I didn't know that it would sell that well. So I announced the pre-sale at noon. I had made from noon to maybe 2 o'clock, I had probably made like $500. I ran a $30 Instagram ad. By the end of the day, I had sold out of one style, and I'd probably made like $1,500. And this is on $1,500 for maybe about 60 rings. And so I kept running. So I know to run my Instagram ads on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays because that's when I get the most sales. Any other day, I kind of get like organic sales. But I ran the Instagram ads during the pre-sale and on the weekend for a reason, because I know that that's when people are online shopping. They just got paid, and it just works. So that's why it's important to test your ads. But that's kind of how I did the pre-sale. So make sure that it's a product that people like, that people want, make a demand for it, and that's how you get a lot of orders for pre-sales. Do you guys have any questions about that? Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. There were some other questions. I don't want to miss anyone. How much are Instagram? So Instagram ads you can choose. So when I first started off, I would do maybe like $8 a day and kind of test it out. And then I would test out different formats of the ads. So maybe I would do like a picture for $8, and then I would do a video for $8. So then I realized that the video got more views and it brought more people to my page. So I ditched that picture, the video. Then I'd increase it to maybe like $10, $10 a day. And you can choose the amount of days. And then so I'm like, okay, this one's doing pretty good. So then I would increase the amount. So now I'm up to maybe, so if I do an Instagram ad for $30 a day, I'm probably guaranteed to make at least $300. So I'm horrible at math. But yeah, so I'd put $30 in, get 300 out. So that's kind of how I do my Instagram ads. The more you put in, and if it's a good tested ad, then the more you'll get out of it. I saw a question pop up. Thank you, Miss. I think at the beginning, did you create urgency? Yes. So there was so the product that I pre-sold was a product that people are always in my DMs about. I have a She Can Do All Things ring, and I probably get questions about that ring every single day. So when I announced the pre-sale, I said, hey guys, I'm about to launch the pre-sale. These rings are not here yet, but they'll be here between the 8th and the, I forgot when. But there was a time frame. I was like, so pre-order now to make sure you can get the style that you want and the ring size that you want. And so I opened the pre-sale up, and then it went crazy. So that's all that you missed, but it wasn't really much. But what type of ads do you make? I like video ads. Video ads work for me, but for you, maybe photography works. So I can't tell you that video ads work all the time. You have to test it. You might have like a picture that outdoes my video. You know what I mean? So you have to test what works for you. But for me, video ads work. Let's see. How do you set up payments for pre-sale? I use Shopify, and I swear by Shopify. Shopify has made my life so much easier. Shopify, like I just put pre-sale and then I put the style of the ring, and people buy it like I had it. But Shopify is just so convenient. It integrates with Instagram, it integrates with Facebook ads. So when I go into my analytics, I can figure out where people are coming from. I can follow their movement on my website. Shopify is just so, like, that's why a lot of people swear by it. It is amazing. I get paid every day. So if I need to buy inventory, my money's not being held up somewhere. Yeah, I swear by Shopify. It's the best. But yeah, they paid on my website like they were buying the product. I was just shipping it out when I received it. So that's how that worked. Yeah. Do they take a percentage of the profits? So you pay a monthly fee. So I have the beginning plan for Shopify, so it's $29 a month. So that I pay, and I believe there's a 3% charge for credit cards with that plan too. But I don't see it, like it's nothing noticeable that I see going out. It's fairly reasonable. But Shopify makes my life easier. So I think I might get the next plan in maybe a few months. I think it's the $90 plan because I'm shipping out more and you get a bigger discount if you get the higher plan. So I think I might start getting the higher plan soon. But yeah, it's $29 a month, and I think all credit card transactions are like 3%, but it's nothing that I can really see. And that's important. You need to price your products well to cover the expenses of your business. So you're not like nickel and diming and watching everything go in and out. That's one thing I try to lowball myself, and that by keeping my prices low. But it was only hurting myself. You need to make sure. I'm currently making a GoDaddy web, maybe Shopify. Shopify is just so much better. I'm not familiar with GoDaddy, but when it comes to e-commerce, you can just do so much more because so whenever you're on Instagram and you see the little cart, so people can shop my Instagram page and then just check out on my website. You can't do that with anything but Shopify. So it's easy for people, so if they look at a picture and they see somebody wearing something, they just click on that and then it just takes them directly to the product on my website and then they check out. I put stuff in my stories. So today, so I posted pictures of what was coming, what I had designed and what was on its way. And then I said, but it'll look like this. And then I put the product, the link in my story, and then people started buying that ring. So I wouldn't pay for anything other than Shopify. I would not, it might be cheaper, but it's not better. You know what I mean? So you kind of want to just start off because you don't want to change your website in the middle of your growth. That's weird. So I would invest in Shopify, definitely. And you can study your analytics that way. So I was just going through my stuff. So some stuff is selling, so I know to buy more. And then some stuff's not selling. So I'm like, okay, I might discontinue that. So I don't recommend it. Well, there you go. Sorry guys, I'm gonna drink some water. Any other questions? Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Are there any other questions? Oh, when you start getting samples for your products, if you have a logo, tell them to put your logo on your products. Branding will go so far. If you just get like regular products and it doesn't really have any branding, it just looks simple, like you can kind of upsell your customer if it looks branded and it looks professional. So that is just one tip that I always recommend. Like, so say like you have a ring, put your logo in the ring. All of my necklaces, every single necklace that I put out has my logo on the tag. So just little branding stuff like that will take your jewelry so far. Saw a question come through. Let's see. What did you do to promote when you were brand new? So I went over that in the beginning, but I used my friends and I used my family. I gave products to my sister and my 2 cousins. I had 6 followers, and it was my family. I gave products to them, and then they just reposted it on their Instagram page, and then that's how I got my first sale. But yeah, that's how I started. So I didn't ask my family to pay for any product. I just gave it to them. And then when I gave it to them, they were excited to promote. It wasn't like, oh, no worries. They were excited to help me because I wasn't like, oh, that's $20. But they were like, oh my gosh, you made something. Like, let me show my friends. And then so that's how, when they showed their friends came to my page. And then when I send things out in my little mailer, I say, hey, love, thanks for ordering. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram. So a lot of people, when they receive their package, they just give me a shout out on their Instagram. And then so their followers then see my page and then they follow me because they just gave me a shout out. So that works for me. Do you think paying influencers will convert to sales? So I actually have several girls on my business page who follow me. They were customers first. And then I went to their page. They shouted me out when they received the products, and it brought a lot of their friends to my page. So, and some of the girls that bought from me, I use them now. Like it helps to be friends with them. Like, so now, like if something new is coming out, I'll be like, hey, you know, can if I send you some, can you take a few pictures for me or repost it? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I do use influencers, but I use influencers who already like my products. I don't go out searching for random influencers. I use people that supported me. So like, if they found my Instagram ad, they came to my page, they bought my jewelry and they loved it, then whenever I'm releasing something else, I just send them a package automatically and they take pictures. So let me give you an example. So guys, go to my Instagram page. It's BLDX and then Monique. So this girl right here, so she has, how many followers does she have? So she has 35. But all of her pictures, like her aesthetic is just so dope. She has on my anklets and then she has on my rings, right? So with Shopify, I can tag my products that she has on. So she posted this picture on her page, right? So she posted this picture on her page and then she tagged me, and then I said, hey, I'm gonna repost this and I'm gonna tag you. So people like that. So if they have a lot of followers and they've already bought your products, ask them if they can like take pictures in exchange for product, and I guarantee they will do it. So that's another thing that I use. There's a few girls in Dallas that found me when I lived in Virginia, and I told them that I was moving to Dallas. So now whenever I release something, I just send them product because is, for one, they're like very influential in Dallas, and so whenever they post my stuff, a lot of their followers come to my page. So I don't pay influencers, but I do utilize people who have influence who have already bought my stuff, if that makes sense. So if you have like 3,000 followers or more, then I try to use you because one, I already know that you believe in my brand, and two, you've already bought my products, so you can then tell your friends and your followers about my products. So let's see. Yeah, but I don't pay influencers. I normally exchange product for pictures, or I'll do giveaways, but I don't pay my influencers. I'd pay a photographer, but I don't pay my influencers because they're going to be people that do love your brand, that have enough followers, and they'll be willing to send you pictures and give you shout outs for free if you just give them product. You guys have any other questions? Are you guys using the Alibaba app to find products? And then how is that going for you? Because I know some of you said that you guys are still trying to find reputable vendors. I use trying to download it. Yeah. The app is just, it's so helpful. It is overwhelming. But once you guys get used to it, once you guys find a vendor, it'll be good. If you guys haven't gotten the ebook, I'm telling you now, it tells you how I find my vendors, what I look for. So I don't spend my time on like sucky vendors. But download the app, utilize the chat feature, because someone will get to your question fairly pretty quickly. If you guys utilize the chat feature, because I used to just send them the message, but now I just chat. Use the website specifically looking for herringbone necklaces, good quality, is kind of vague. Do you only use one vendor? So I use a vendor for so all of my chains and my rings come from one vendor, and then I have a separate vendor who does anything so anything like sterling silver, like my eternity rings, I use a separate vendor for them because like that's what they specialize in. So like these eternity rings, like this vendor just makes these rings like just sparkle, and my customers love these rings. So I use different people for different things. So somebody said herringbone. So when you're typing in herringbone, what material do you want it to be? Do you want it to be 925 sterling silver herringbone? Do you want it to be alloy? Do you want it to be stainless steel? So kind of put in, like, change your wording as far as herringbone. So that might be helpful. So maybe put in the type of material that you're looking for. Let's search herringbone necklaces now. See what you're getting. Herringbone chain. Okay, so I already see one. I would not go to that one because that looks hideous. That looks super brassy. And then are you guys looking at the ratings? I mean, I would not pay $9.80. Well, it is sterling silver. It's a sterling silver herringbone necklace. So it just depends. Narrow it down by the material that you want to make it. narrow it down by the color. So I think I told you guys in another video, or maybe I said it in the comments, make sure you know about gold plating, because not all gold plating is the same. When I first started getting jewelry made, I was asking for 18 and it looked yellow and gross. So make sure that you try 18 karat gold from some companies, and then try the 14 karat gold from them as well, because you might like how the quality and how it's made, but you might not like the color. But don't count that vendor out completely just because you don't like the color of 18. You might like the color of 14. So these are things that you guys need to know about. You need to know about base metals. You need to know about microns and the plating and how much plating, because if you're going to advertise waterproof jewelry, you need to know how much it needs to be plated for it to be waterproof and then last at least a year or two. Finding a vendor. I don't know what to look for, and I'm worried samples are in order. To them because of. Yeah, I don't know what to look for, and I'm worried samples are in order to them because of the language barrier. No, most of the people on Alibaba. Oh, and that's another thing too, though. I work with vendors that speak good English, because we can't do this. So if you're having a hard time communicating with them, then that just might not be the vendor for you. And that's okay. There are tons of other vendors. Yeah, if you're so if you found a lot of items that you want from one vendor, I would get samples. And the reason I say that is because I bought a whole box of stuff that I can't even use because I didn't get samples. So you're just gonna waste money anyway. So I would rather like get a sample and not waste your money, because you might get a sample of each of those items and then want to place an order down the line. But I always get samples. I just can't stress that enough. Always get samples, even if it is multiple items. They're used to it. That's what they're there for. So, is to provide you items for your jewelry line. But yeah, if you guys are having a hard time finding a vendor, I break it down in my ebook. But starting with the app, narrowing your search down by like the metals that you want to use, knowing the types of chains. Oh, and then also I've done another video of how, like, if you have a picture. So let's go to Google. And I'm going to type in herringbone chain. Okay. So take a picture from Google and then put it in the Alibaba app. So then you can search pictures from Google in the Alibaba app and find vendors that make items similar to what you're looking for. So that's always good. That's why the Alibaba app is amazing. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Is stainless steel the best for earrings? It just depends. It depends on what you're at, like so I pride myself in waterproof jewelry. So my customers, they will not buy anything that is not waterproof. So it just depends. Like some people, like I bought this from a jeweler friend that I follow on Instagram. These are, I think these are brass, and these are not waterproof, but I don't mind it. But my customers, like, they will not buy anything. The first thing they ask, is that waterproof? And I'm like, no. And then they don't buy it. So waterproof. So I would say sterling silver is the best for earrings. Then stainless steel. I love working with stainless steel, to be completely honest. A lot of people are starting to hop on the stainless steel bandwagon now. It's durable, it's waterproof, it lasts a while. So it's not the best. 925 silver is the best. but it does the job and it's affordable. 925 sterling silver is going to be expensive, but you could put your product at a higher price point too. But still have questions about how you negotiate. I tried to customize. Oops. I tried to customize. I'm sorry. Hold on. How you negotiate the MOQ with vendors for custom orders. I try to customize a bracelet and yes. So if you go on Alibaba and you see, a mold fee should never be $285. That's just ridiculous. But I've paid between $25 and $80 for mold fees. So like if you want them to make your product and then not resell it on their website, they're going to charge you a mold fee. But that protects you and your intellectual property. That's your idea. But $285 is ridiculous. That is out of this world. I've paid between $25 and $80 for mold fees. Some things that I asked them to create, like I have Huggies coming that are like diamond. They said, do you want to pay a mold fee? And I was like, y'all can list it. They're everywhere, but I just love the company that I'm using. I love their quality. So if they decide to post it on their website, they're everywhere. But I just wanted them to make it. So a mold fee should not be $285. But you know what? Like, I don't know. Things are kind of like, even my vendor, things that were cheap before Corona are now kind of expensive, like $1 more. So I'm not sure if it's just the time that we're in right now. But I've never paid $285 for a mold fee. But mold fees are important if you want your products to stay your products. If you don't want them to advertise it on their site, they will charge a mold fee for a custom product. So yeah, so you can negotiate. Yeah, custom orders are because they're creating the molds. But you know what? For an expensive mold fee, they will give you your money back if you purchase a certain number. So they're probably saying, oh, you want, you want us to make this mold and you only want a small quantity. That's not going to work. So that's probably what you're running into. I'm not sure. But hold on, guys. I'm going to charge my phone so I don't get dropped off. But put your questions down here. Still going to answer them. Okay. But yeah, if you want to protect your intellectual property, definitely pay for the mold fee. Did I miss any questions? So no, I don't have a template on negotiating the MOQ. I basically just go off of my budget for the month. So if I know that I have like $400 to spend, I'm like, look, I just want to test this out, see if this works for my shop. If the MOQ is 100, I'm like, can we just please do 50? And they're normally going to say it's going to cost more. I'm like, that's fine. I just want to test it out. I don't want to be stuck with products that I'm not going to use. So I don't have a template. Oh, and then another thing, guys, is split up. If you know that you're getting a large order, split it up. Say, hey, can you split this up for me? I'm going to pay half now and then half when it's done. So that will help your pocket. So normally jewelry takes about a month. So I know that if I need to pay $200 now, then in a month when it's all ready, I'll pay the other $200 then. So split your payments up if you need to. So if you're not just like going broke buying products. Forgot about that. That was a good question. If you need to negotiate the MOQ, just definitely split it up. How did you budget in the beginning? Budget. I, how did I budget? Like budget the income. Like, so right now I'm still in a phase, I'm making money, but I'm buying more products with what I make. So every time, so I guess I could take home a profit right now if I wanted to, and if I just wanted to stay on this level, but I want to continue to grow. So everything that I make is continuing to go back into the business, and I'm buying new products. I'm buying better packaging. Um, so I don't really think I have a budget. Everything that I've made so far has gone back into the business. And every time I put it back into the business, I grow more and more. So like now, like my Instagram ads, I typically spend about $30 a day. So that's how I take all the money that I make and I keep adding it back into the business. I keep introducing more products. I try to build my inventory. Right now I'm just at a weird point. I don't really know how much to buy, and I'm growing kind of fast. So more people are asking for more things, and I want to provide a lot. So I'm taking what I'm making and I'm continuing to put back into the business. So right now I don't really have a budget, but I was just working my 9 to 5 to support this jewelry business dream, if that makes sense. And then once I got that going, I just kept putting the money back in more products. I hope that makes sense. I'm worried I'm gonna start and buy samples and just keep losing money. I felt that way when I first started. It's hard. I was, I bought samples for like 8 months, and I bought bad samples. And it's just something that, you know, I've kind of learned to test different vendors. I've kind of gotten, like, I can kind of see who makes good jewelry, whose pictures are original. You know, I read reviews. You're gonna go through it. It took me 8 months, and then I finally found this vendor, but I asked them for 18 karat gold. I'm like, this gold is just ugly. But then I saw some of their stuff that was 14 karat gold, and I was like, duh, the 14 karat gold is the stuff that I like. So I was like, hey, can you guys send this to me in 14 karat? And when they sent it in 14 karat, it made a world of a difference. So just because like one thing just doesn't work out, just try to play around with it, because it'll eventually like all make sense. But sourcing in the beginning is very difficult. If you keep going, if you have a vision for your brand, you'll find what you need, and then you can move forward. But it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's not an overnight thing. Jewelry is an expensive business to start. Like, jewelry is not a get rich quick type of thing. Even people out here selling their vendor lists, y'all still need to vet these vendor lists that people are selling. So just, it's not, jewelry is just not one of those things. You have to kind of have like a passion for it, because you will get frustrated. So that's just the God honest truth. With custom designs, you communicate with pictures, because I want a certain shaped earring. These people have seen my chicken scratch. They've gotten my like hand-drawn pictures. I've sent pictures of like other people's work, and then I tell them how I want to modify it. And like, so I'll put like arrows and like bubbles like of notes and stuff. So they're used to working with just about anything. So I sent my people, trying to find it. So I'm working on huggy earrings, and I told him how I wanted it, and then they drew it up for me, and then they asked me, is this what you want? And then I said yes. You can't really see it. They drew it up for me, and they were like, is this what you want? And I said it's perfect. And then now they're in manufacturing. So you don't have to be professional. You just need to communicate clearly what you're looking for. In my ebook, when I was learning about necklaces and how to hang pendants, you need to know the different type of components that you're asking for. If you want a bail instead of a ring, you need to let them know. You need to measure everything in millimeters and the length, the width, and the thickness. So you need to give them as descriptive descriptions, I guess, as possible, to make it perfect. So so if you look at high-end jewelry, they have their description. So it's like, oh, this piece is 12 millimeters by 6 millimeters, 12 meters long, 6 millimeters wide, and 1.2 millimeters thick. So like, look at the expensive jewelry pages and you kind of can tell how they need, those are the specs that they need to design it and make it. So be just as descriptive as possible when it comes to custom stuff. But I have sent in chicken scratch, but I do send in dimensions too. So they're not just like guessing. I always send in dimensions. How many products do you recommend starting your shop with, and do you use Facebook ads? So I started my shop with one ring size, 3 different engraved sayings with 2 sizes. And I started off with 100 rings. And I used Instagram ad for those 3 rings, and it brought 100 people to my page that first Instagram ad go round. So I didn't start with a lot. I just started with 3 rings, and those 3 rings that I started with are my best sellers now. It told me, is general, do you think? No. No, their ring is general. So that's one thing that I've noticed is Chinese fingers are not like American fingers. I wear a size 8. That's not general over there in China. General is like a size 5. So you need to tell them that you want. So the most commons are 7s and 8s. And then if you have enough budget left, get 6s and stuff. But don't go with general. I would not go with general. Just like if they say gold, what kind of gold? It's gold. No, give me 14 or 8. Like you want quality stuff. You don't want gold color. You don't want gold color. Did I miss a question? Are you using ads through Instagram or Facebook? So, excuse me. I don't have corona, y'all. So I started with, I would boost an Instagram picture, but now that my Shopify has been going, my Shopify has enough analytics to go to Facebook, and that works really well. So like your Shopify page, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like something about pixels. So what they do on Facebook, if I set up my Facebook ad, or if I set up my ads through Facebook, it'll go to my Instagram page and it'll advertise on Facebook, and it will spot my customers and customers that look like my customers. And that is a game changer. And that's how I've made a lot of income, because the Facebook ads now spot my customers, and then they spot customers that look like my customers. So let's see. Right, yeah, exactly. You're an 8.5. They have small fingers. They just don't have fingers like us. Yeah, Facebook pixels. So that's really helpful with Shopify. When you integrate Shopify with your Instagram and your Facebook, is they can identify your customers and customers that look like your customers. You pick your prices. So I used to start off with $8 a day for 3 days. But then I was like advertising on like Mondays and Tuesdays. Mondays and Tuesdays didn't work for me. So then I started advertising on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays works for my page. So I started off with $8 a day. Now I do about $25 to $30 a day, and I let the ads run over the weekend. And so you kind of just have to play around with Instagram ads to see, and then you have to play around with the type of posts that you post. So for me, my people like video, but for you, your people might like pictures. So you kind of have to play around with them. But yeah, Instagram ads, you tell them how much you want to spend on marketing. And then, because there's people out here that spend thousands and thousands of dollars a day. But if you're just starting out, like I was just starting out, I would do $8, $10. And then you slowly go up. Don't just go from $8 to $20 because it will mess up your algorithm. So whenever I move around now, I try to move around in like increments of like $10 or $5. Just don't do a big going from $8 a day to $100 a day. Let's see. Did you create social media before you did your website? No. I did social media afterwards. I did social media when, yeah, I had my website, then I made my page. So I was actually really nervous to launch anything, or I was really nervous to launch my stuff. So I kind of like sat with 6 followers for a while. Any other questions, guys? You guys have good questions tonight. Oops. Yeah, don't be nervous. Don't live in fear. It's frustrating. I'm not going to lie to you. It is very frustrating. So even for this pre-sale, my vendor, who I've been rocking with since the beginning, they messed up my order. And they said that they got a new jeweler who messed up my order. And I was like, this is unacceptable. So things happen. And if I didn't have like good customers, I could have lost out on so much money. But thankfully, my customers were okay, and they're waiting. They have like 2 more weeks for their products to come, but stuff happens. You just have to keep moving. You have to be creative. So because they're waiting so long, I told them that when I receive new items in June, that they can pick stuff out from, they can pick something out from my shop, and I'll send it to them as a thank you for waiting so long. So things happen. Somebody asked me about budget in the beginning. As I'm starting to grow, I couldn't just spend that money that I'm making. I could pay myself, but I don't want to now, because what if those people wanted a refund? I would have had to refund like $600. So you kind of want to have buffer too. When you start making money, you want to invest it and get more product, but you also want to have a buffer. Might have missed this question, but do you have one vendor for your rings, necklaces? So I have one vendor for my necklaces and my rings, and then I have another vendor that does sterling silver with the stones really well. Like the stones, their clarity is just so clear, and it sparkles and everything, and they do that really well. And then this vendor does chains and rings. They do that really well. So I use 2 different vendors. How do you come up with your refund and return policy? I live by the Bible, so I live by the fruits of the Spirit. And one thing that this has taught me is I just make up all of my policies, like how I want to be treated. And so my return policy, I don't give refunds for the jewelry. But I will do a return if the jewelry has not been worn. You can kind of tell, like, this stuff fingerprints really fast. So I'll give a return, or so they'll have to pay for the shipping, and they can return it to me. And I will switch it out with the size that they need if I have it, but I also tell my customers how the sizing is. I'm like, this ring is tight, so size up. And then I make them pay for the returns. But customer service is one of the things that you can avoid if you have quality products. I've never had someone not satisfied with the ring that they got. So the only type of returns I have is if the ring does not fit. And that happens because they didn't read the description. So I put it up at the top and then I make them pay for the shipping. But I just treat my customers how I would like to be treated, because what a bad taste it puts in your mouth if you receive horrible customer service. So yeah, that's how I do my return. So go with your gut, go with what's just do right by your customers. If you guys do right by your customers, they will come back and they will tell all of their friends that, you know, so-and-so's jewelry business has the best customer service. The owner is so sweet. They will promote you for free. So just be nice. Just be nice. That's the best advice that I could give you guys for customer service. Because yeah. Do you use the sterling silver for earrings? Yes. So this coming June, I have a few earrings coming out with the sterling silver vendor, and then I have gold hoops coming out with this vendor. So I'm trying some new stuff this coming month. So it's exciting. Let's see. Have you guys figured out pricing? I said it in a different live. I don't know if you guys know about it here, but it is very important, and I'm starting to see that now, that you guys cannot short sell. Is it short sell? Sell yourself short. Do not sell yourself short when it comes to pricing. Times, excuse me, multiply the cost of your the product, your packaging, what it costs to ship, and multiply that by 4, and do not go under that. Do not go under that. It is very important, because now I'm trying to no, I don't got the Rona. No, I have allergies. I have allergies. Oh Lord. I have allergies, guys. Yeah, don't sell yourself short. And then y'all over here, that's not even funny. But okay, I will let you have that. But yeah, don't sell yourself short. Do not go under the number times 4. So add the cost of the product, the packaging, and the shipping materials, and then times that number by 4, and do not go under that. So whenever I have a sale, I times that number by 3, and so I can't go under. So whatever that number is by 3, that's my sale. Like if I have a sale, that's the sales price. That's kind of how I do it. So that way you're not losing out on any of your profit. So, because what I use that number, I pay myself, I pay for more product, I try to save for taxes, and I pay for marketing. So that's 4. So, but if the product's not selling, you want to put it on up for sale, you can slash out the marketing and then just times by 3, and then you still get your portion of the profit. But do not under that 4 number as the original price. And then I sometimes, I mark it up from there. But times your stuff by 4. Because if you don't times your stuff by 4, it is going to be so difficult to pay yourself and to buy more product. Okay, so no, the customer pays for shipping, but like stuff like this, like shipping materials. So I don't know what you're using to ship. Like some people use tissue paper and like a poly mailer, but you have to buy this. And and these things, like I feel like I feel like I buy these things every single week. Like it just does not stop. Like you're gonna spend so much money, but you want to make sure you have enough money to cover everything. So let's look. I don't remember. I think I made like, so I spent like $300 in products, and then that first month I made like 650 back. So then I put that money down for the next so let's go. I haven't started yet, but I'm referring to the cost of like shipping. Okay, so if you use USPS and your stuff is under a pound, the cost for shipping is most likely going to be like $3, and so that's why these things are okay. Now, if your stuff is heavy, then you can look at other shipping vendors, but jewelry typically isn't that heavy. So, and then Shopify, I just print off the label, slap it on there, and they paid for their shipping. So it's already paid for. The only thing with Shopify is they make you pay all the shipping charges when you pay your membership fee. So I don't know if that made sense. Did you guys understand what I just said? I'm trying to go to my analytics. All right, finances. Total sales. I started in November of last year. Let's see. And okay, so I started in November. I bought like $300 worth of inventory, and I made $855.76. So, oh, you know why? I didn't make a lot in November because I had a lady who purchased 20 rings wholesale. So when I did wholesale, I just took out the cost of what it took to make, and then I took out my cut. And so she got a deal because I didn't have to upcharge her. She bought 20 rings. So sorry, I'm just going by. Okay, so instead of it being 25, oh honey, no. So so it's 29 a month, and then so you have to, so when people pay for their order and they pay for shipping, you have to put their shipping fees to the side. So my month that I pay my bill is on the 21st. So on the 21st, they take all of the shipping costs from April 21st to May 21st. So, but then if I hit a $200 threshold, then they'll take it out when I hit the $200. So for my pre-sale, I had 90 some sales just in a matter of a week, right? 90 some sales is I'm almost pushing. They just took out $200, and I'm kind of almost pushing like 190 right now. So 90 sales is about my math is awful. But yeah, so it's like, so just think of it like this. So like if I just got 5 sales today, 5 times 3 is 15. So I need to put $15 away for shipping because they're going to come for that money on the 21st. So hopefully hopefully you're getting more than $20 worth of shipping sales. What is that? 9 roughly, no, that's 21. Well, 9 sales roughly is $21, but like or 7, oh shit, I mean, excuse me, Shoot. But I'm horrible at math, guys. But you want to always save their ship the cost that it is to ship for when Shopify collects on the day of the month that they're supposed to collect. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, so I spent $300 on jewelry that first month, and I bought 100 rings, and I made $855. So let's see what I made last month. Let's see. So you can kind of take a typical month. I don't really think I had a lot in stock last month though. That's the thing. Yeah, I didn't have a lot in stock last month. So last month I made 1,500. And then what day is it? It's the 13th of May. So right now I'm at 3,300 for the 15th of May. So you can kind of see that, like, the more money you put back into your business, the more things that you've bought. So how much did I spend in this last order? I think I spent like 400 and I made 3,300. So, but this money now, I've bought so much jewelry. So I have like earrings coming, I have ear cuffs coming, I have rings coming, I have bracelets coming, I have cuffs coming. So I've taken that money and I've reinvested it back into the business, and I had to set it aside because, yeah. So let's see, shipping. Oh, so not counting shipping, I made $3,300 or $3,032.49. How many products do this? I started with 3. I started with the same ring, but it had 3 different inscribings. And I started with 100. How do you invest? I'm sorry, I couldn't see that one. Hold on. Do you invest all marketing budget on Instagram ads? No. I invest a lot of the marketing budget on Instagram ads. And then I also have a follower. She just started taking really good pictures of the jewelry. So, and she's a college student. So I was like, hey, I need some pictures for my website and for my Instagram page and to give me content. Can you take pictures for me? So I give her some money to just take pictures. She's such a sweet, college student, and so that's like her side job. So I do use some of the marketing budget for her, but I do invest in the Instagram ads. That's probably the best. And then also marketing, I use I'm out of everything right now. I'll take a picture of it and post it in the YouTube feed. But I send out these like gold foil postcards, and I put it in all of my packaging, and I just tell people to repost their order. So that's considered marketing. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we've been on here for a while now, guys. Let's see. Do you guys have any other questions? Anything else before I hop off? All right. So that was fun. If you guys have any questions, definitely email me. Oh, yay. Oh, thank you. So when you're searching for stuff, are you saying you have to be very descriptive on Alibaba? So you might want to say like 925 silver earrings with CZ, like cubic zirconia, like CZ stones, or like 925 sterling silver gold hoops or gold huggies or gold studs. Like, just try to be as specific as possible, and then kind of narrow it down that way. So maybe try typing in your search terms. Also, if you want to go back to my video of how I took inspiration and then I found it in Alibaba. So take a picture from the internet and then search within Alibaba to kind of, so if you see something or if you have a vision of something, try to find a picture as close and then try to search it in Alibaba. And that's very helpful. You can find vendors that way. But yeah, don't give up. It's frustrating, but you guys got it. Is the book on your jewelry site? I'll put the link. Yeah, I'll put the link in the feed on the YouTube feed. So just check it. Check your feed when we get off of here. But yeah, don't give up, guys. It's frustrating. I was sourcing for 8 months until I figured it out. So but yeah, let's see. The prettiest designs are brass and copper. I do not recommend brass and copper. Where do I find nice producers at? Yeah, so in your search, make sure you guys are typing in stainless steel or 925 silver, or even ask that company, like, say, like, hey, I really love this design. Can you guys do this in any other metal? And they should be able to. But yeah, just ask them, hey, you know, I really love this, and I love the way it looks. Can you guys do this design in sterling silver? So just ask. Some companies can't, some companies will. So it's just a matter of asking. Or you can just search out for vendors that specifically work with stainless steel and then specifically work with sterling silver. Oh, so 925 sterling silver is one thing. And so pure silver is just too soft for jewelry. And so they mix it with a little bit of an alloy to give it strength, but it's it's as fine as possible for silver jewelry. So that's basically, if you hear 925 sterling silver, that just means that 925 is the percentage of sterling silver it has, and then it has a little bit of alloys for strength and durability. That's all that is. Manufacturers can most likely. Yeah, the trade companies, that's a great point. Trade companies cannot, but search for, I think it's OEM vendors, and they can do pretty much anything. That's what you really want. And that's what I was trying to say. That's why I don't use AliExpress, because AliExpress, those vendors will not change the items. You have to buy it as is. But on Alibaba, you can customize it. So when people are posting those, sterling silver versus stainless steel. Okay, let me finish my other thought. So when they post on Alibaba, they're basically telling you what they can make. So sometimes their pictures are not their own, but they're telling you, hey, this is what we can make for you. So if you see a picture, most likely a vendor on Alibaba can do it for you. Vendors on AliExpress, they don't typically do it. So you said the difference between stainless steel and sterling silver. They're just two different metals. So stainless steel does not rust. You can get stainless steel wet. It will not corrode. Sterling silver, it's the best that you can have, but it does oxidize. So you might get a little bit of tarnishing, but tarnishing in sterling silver, you can wipe it off. It's still a fine it's a fine piece of jewelry. In this day and age on Instagram, the whole craze is stainless steel right now, because it doesn't oxidize and it doesn't like tarnish. But sterling silver is a fine metal. and it does, but once you shine that thing off and buffer it up, like, it's brand new. So it's just a fine jewel. It's a fine metal. Sterling silver is just a fine metal. Stainless steel is very durable. It's very tough, and it's water resistant. So yeah, it's just a personal preference of whether you want to offer. So I offer both. Which plating thickness is waterproof? So I think I get 0.5 microns. I'm pretty sure I get 0.5, and mine has been pretty tough so far. And all right, guys. I think that's about it. I'm gonna put my ebook in here. If you guys purchase the ebook and you have any questions afterwards, do not hesitate to email me. I will answer your questions via email. So read it over, and then it'll kind of give you an idea of, well, not kind of, it'll give you an idea of how I started sourcing, what I look for. So it's just super helpful, and it'll probably eliminate half of the questions and allow you to start with confidence. But definitely I am here if you read it and you still have questions. Most people who have read it, they don't really have questions about the ebook now. Now they have questions about getting started with their brand. So people who read the ebook typically have questions about packaging next, and then how to start. So they've gotten past the sourcing phase. So the ebook will help you with the sourcing phase. It will help you ask the vendors specifically what you want, because they're looking for certain things. And if you're doing custom, it'll definitely help you and kind of explain what the vendors are looking for, so you can get the perfect piece that you're trying to design. So I'll put that in. I'm putting this in now, the link. So you should see it on your feed. But I'll talk to y'all later. This has been fun. Even though y'all said I had corona. That's not funny, but it's been fun. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, shoot. How do I log off? This is awkward. Can't just